Hey, hi everyone. So the basic agenda of this video is to understand around how to build applications using AI, just like how I build happybirthday.in using Claude AI. So guys, Chat GPT is my ex now. I have moved on in life with Claude. So yeah, just to answer some questions, the first question that everyone might be having, like, why did I do this project? So it has a simple answer actually. I had no New Year plans or some party plans during the last week of December. So I had time on both of my weekends. So I thought I should do something productive. So I thought of doing a project. Second question that you all might be having will be, why did I, since I am from a product background, why did I choose a coding project instead of a product add-on or something? So I generally read around a product on my weekends. So these are my usual weekends actually. So I thought I should do something in coding, and there's one more reason to it actually. So due to some XYZ reasons, I had to do little coding. I had to try out, and I realized here I am not able to code actually. So that was a very heavy feeling for me. So I thought, यार मतलब थोड़ा बहुत तो करना चाहिए. So just to speak on my background, like 2 years back, I had some decent experience in Merge Stack in web development and slight of Unity game development in AR development actually. So when I came across that XYZ example, I realized that यार मुझे तो React Node आता ही नहीं है लिखना. So that time I got a little hit and I was triggered and I was urged that yes, I should pick up a coding project and at least be at a position wherein I can get an outcome. Okay. So yeah, I got that outcome using Claude AI. So yeah, that was the second question around why did I choose a coding project. So third question that you all might get is, how did I get around the idea? Okay. So I'm going to break this video into two parts. So first part is going to be a mental overview where I'm going to use the whiteboard and take you through the entire project from 0 to 1. Okay. And the second part, I'll just take you through the prompts and how I went around. So that's how we'll run through the video. So the third question is, how did I get the idea? Okay. So yeah, my first thought was I knew what I wanted to code. So I wanted something which has authentication is one of the things. Second thing I wanted was I wanted to integrate somehow AI into it, some AI API. This was my thought. Yeah, these were my two things. I wanted authentication. I wanted AI, somehow to integrate AI into it. Some features I wanted to have into it. Payments also I thought, like payments is also a criteria which I would want to explore. So yeah, these are the pointers I thought here. In my application, these are the things which I want. Major important thing was, since I have built a lot of side projects which have never gone into production, I wanted something that at least some of the people will use. So this side project won't just remain a project. It creates some impact. So yeah, these were my two major thoughts. How did I arrive at this idea? So actually, in general, I have this habit of whenever there's a friend's birthday, I type a message to him, and I'm generally not able. The formatting takes a lot of time. Like, these are some of the A, B, C, D are some of the points which I need to write for the friend, but I cannot format it. I need to make it into a message. I need to make it into a greeting. So this takes a lot of time actually. So AI can beautifully give a higher weightage to what I want in the message and draft a beautiful greeting. So yeah, that's how I thought. In December and January, I have birthdays of a lot of my friends. So I thought, yeah, having this project will help me draft beautiful greetings for my friends. So yeah, that was one of the use case. And the same problem is being faced by many other users also. Second thing is how I went around creating a room. So creating a room is so generally in our sprint meetings also, once the sprint end, we have a sprint board, retro board, wherein all the developers, product people write their reviews there. So yeah, this idea actually clicked me. So I thought around, if there is a birthday of someone, why can't we have just one room wherein all of the friends just jump in, write greetings for them, for the birthday boy or girl. So I thought, yeah, this was another decent idea which I could have in my product. So yeah, first thing that I thought was I will do something around birthdays. This was the first thing which I thought. देन आई थॉट अराउंड यार बर्थडेज में क्या कर सकते हैं, लाइक मुझे ग्रीटिंग एआई डालना है. सो ग्रीटिंग कार्ड्स इज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट एआई कैन हेल्प मी विथ. So yeah, creating room. I took inspiration from Spring, from my retro board. Yes. So that's how I arrived at the idea of happybirthday.in. Now let's run around how we went around the execution of it. Okay. Fourth point will be how we went around the execution of it 0 to 1. So first thing which I thought was the tech stack which I wanted to work on. So tech stack, I wanted something. Now मन में क्या है कि React client side, Node server side, I wanted something that मुझे server और client separate handle नहीं करना था. I thought that having a single rendering will help here. So I thought Next.js would be my framework to use. Authentication, I knew I needed Google authentication. These are the 2 points that I thought. API, I thought since I'm using Claude only, I thought Claude API will be a good option for the message. So yeah, these were some of the thoughts which I had around the tech stack before. Like I did not think around which DB I'll use because I thought during the process generation I'll find out. And these were the thoughts which I had around the tech stack. Second thing I thought, what I will document. Okay, so documentation was having your entire project in a Google Doc actually. I did a terrible job at it. So I wanted to go live on production as fast as possible. So I thought यार documentation मैंने थोड़ा हल्का सा लिख दिया documentation. But yeah, so if I have to judge myself on documentation, it will be a 3 on 10. Very poor documentation. I've just written the basic features there. Like these are the features I want. This is how the features should work. I'll run you through it in the live demo. But yeah, it was a 3 on 10. I believe like documentation should be very clear. Like your entire project, your entire imagination of the project should be there in the document. It will help you code better with the AI. Okay. Third thing here, matlab I thought first thing which I had in my earlier idea is like I am going to work on a birthday website, right? Birthday website is something I'm going to work on. What are the things which I require in my birthday website? I need what do I need? I need a greeting card, right? Greeting card I need. Then what do I need? Then I need a room, right? There will be a room wherein friends will join, write messages. So yeah, there will be a room. There will be a room where everyone will write notes. So हाँ यार, these were the 2 features which I'm going to work on. So मैंने अपना mind map बना लिया. So greeting card होगा, room notes होगा. If there is a greeting card, what will be used? Greeting card, Claude API will be used. Room notes होंगे. Authentication होगा. So authentication के लिए Google console use करूँगा. So I had made a mind map of the project actually. Ki this is how the project will look, and even tech wise I thought birthday, greeting card, Claude API, room notes, authentication, Google console use होगा. It helped me design the components actually. So when I think around components, what will my components be? Components, a navigation bar will be one of the components. Home page will be one of the components. My greeting card will be a complete component. My room है तो there will be a form required to create the room, right? There will be a form which will be required to create a room. A room will be created. In room, what will happen? It helped me think tech wise. What will happen in the room? Like every user will have a separate room, right? Every birthday will have a separate room. Some user will be the admin. He will invite other users. Only the users who are invited should be able to add the text to the room. Like otherwise, everyone can enter anyone's room and do the editing, right? That should not be allowed. Form room, notes. Every user who has edit access in that room should be able to add notes, right? So yeah, I thought around how the tech solutioning should be around here. Authentication is the Google authentication. So authentication will be required for rooms. Like those who have edit access, only those should be able to edit it. right? Not everyone should be able to edit it. So yeah, this was the mind map which I had. This was the overview. Okay. So yeah, I just went on prompting. So how did I prompt? Okay. So first thing, whatever the document I had, I gave it as a prompt, and I thought and I told, right, just read this. Okay. Once it read, I went with the setting of the code. And यार ये कोई बड़ी चीज नहीं है, मतलब I am someone right now in a position that I won't be able to code anything. Yeah, so मतलब this might look complex, setting up code, but नहीं ऐसा. Claude API, I'll take you over in the live demo as well. So setting up code is not a big deal. It will, once you give him the tech stack, he will say, यार next just install करना है. These are the texts which you need to run over. Okay. So yeah, setting up the code is also very easy. Library also Claude will give you. Which libraries to install also Claude will give you. So yeah, this is one part of it. Then how you need to structure your code, okay? So Claude is very smart. It generally tells your structure. So that's why documentation is very important. Once you have the document very well written, Claude will give you a structure कि यार components folder बनाना है, components में nav bar आएगा, greeting card आएगा. So Claude is very good at this. So structure also Claude will give it to you. So yeah, that was the overview around how I went building it. So prompt, I just kept giving prompts. Okay. And as per the responses, I understood, okay, this is my file structure, these are my components, navigation bar, and Claude even gives you like which file you need to add which type of code. Okay. Yeah, so this is how I went around building it. Now some of the learnings which I had. Okay. Learnings. Now what are the learnings which I had? Okay. Learnings which I had here कि when I started, I had a very laid back attitude. तो मैं स्टार्ट में क्या करता था, मैं Claude, I used to tell Claude कि यार give me the entire code file. मुझे करना ही, दिमाग लगाना ही नहीं है. Give me the full code file. I'll just copy and paste it. This was at start. When the code was very small, it was fine. मतलब it was working fine. But at some point of time, I came across files wherein there were 100 to 200 lines of code. So if there was 100 to 200 lines of code, it used to give me a timeout very soon. Okay, so yeah, do not try to understand, do not try to have that attitude like wherein you are just asking the files. Okay, you won't even learn with it. So approach which I will prefer is learn component wise, component and function wise. So yeah, try to define components as small as possible. And if you're defining functions, then you should know like in a code file which function is doing what work. That you should know. And Claude actually gives a beautiful response wherein it even explains like what the file does, which function does what. So always try to understand in a component what is the function doing. So what will happen with this? If you are giving any prompt, Claude has to make a change in this function. Claude will always respond with the minimal and the most optimistic response. So it will give this function in this component, this function have to change. So you should be able to change it. And it's not tough. You have to just read English. Okay, it will tell कि ये line of code है, इस component को change कर दो इस function से. So that's all you have to do. So this is one of the things which I learned during the time. कि हाँ यार मेरा max limit reach हो रहा है very quickly, and then I had to take a pause for some time. So I thought this is one of the learnings which I had. Second learning which I had was, yeah, मतलब another thing is once I understood कि how to change functions, how to do changes in specific code pieces of a component, then Claude API was not my limit, right? I went to Perplexity, I went to GPT, I gave them that file, I told like I need this functionality. So it takes up the dependency. Then you're not dependent on Claude, you can do it independently. And one more thing which I learned is there are some components which are independently, like authentication, Google console setup is independent, mix panel setup is independent, right? These all setups are independent, and you don't need to do it inside the same chat. You can do it on ChatGPT, Perplexity, or inside a different chat as well, so that you can save the limit. These were my learnings. Yes, my second learning was always prompt first, like mobile. So another most difficult part was to have the UI mobile friendly. So when I started the development, I just forgot to prompt that it should be mobile friendly as well. So desktop friendly, everything was working. In the end stage, I realized यार mobile friendly तो बनाया ही नहीं. And then getting most problem, the room and the notes which I have, I struggled a lot with making it mobile friendly. And I realized this one feedback, मतलब one thing that I observed with Claude is Claude no any मतलब AI application like Claude, ChatGPT is if it does error once and you prompt him again and he's not able to give the correct response, then if you try 4 or 5 times and again it gives an incorrect response, then unfortunately I feel that AI will not be able to solve the problem. So here I got stuck in a roadblock actually. So I gave them 3 4 prompts what I actually wanted, but still it could not fix the UI bug. So again my rescue was Stack Overflow here. So I had to write on Stack Overflow, matlab read on Stack Overflow and solve this myself. So this is one of the problems that I have faced with AI. If something goes wrong 2 3 times, it faces problem in debugging it. Yeah. So these were some of the learnings which I had during the project. What did I explore during the project? If exploring here, I'm very sorry my ML engineers. So I just came across Hugging Face during the course of this development, okay? If I knew this before, my project would have been something else only. So Hugging Face has lot of ML AI models, okay? So some of the time just went in exploring. I tried some models and I was exploring it. It's a beautiful website. So unfortunately I did not get something that could generate me a good greeting card. But yeah, surely this has a lot of ML AI models and I would like to explore a lot of models here. This was one thing that we explored. Second thing was, okay, so I was also thinking of building a horoscope actually. So horoscope, like date of birth is generally required for your birthday, right? And many people want to see what is the horoscope for the day. So I thought that there will be some free API existing in the market wherein I enter my DOB and I'm able to get the horoscope for the day. But unfortunately there is no such free API. So there was a API known as Astro API, but that is not being maintained right now. So there are no free APIs available in the market. So it required some costing which I did not want to bear. So I dropped this plan. But yeah, I explored a lot around horoscope and what are the available APIs in the market. So these are some things which I explored. Yeah. So this was around the development. And finally, what is a product without its metric? Right? So that's the core of it. So I thought like I should even track my product and how it works. So I integrated Mixpanel. So this was also a new experience. First time I have integrated Mixpanel, and it's very easy to integrate actually. So yeah, some of the metrics which I am tracking actually is number of page loads. Okay, number of page loads. Number of greetings card generated. Number of greeting card generated. Number of rooms created. Number of rooms created. Number of invited users. So this is something which I'm tracking right now. Greeting room created, number of rooms created, sign up users. These are some of the things which I'm tracking right now, And yeah, matlab, there are some metrics which I'm going to track around here, like whether the people are getting repeated, like same users, how many rooms are being created by same users, how many users are invited in per room. These are some of the metrics which I will finally find out from these Mixpanel events. Page loads are number of people actually landing on the page, greeting card, number of greeting card generated. Yeah, so surely once I have some data, I will share this data. Yes, so that's all a overview around happybirthday.in. So yeah, it's the place to make birthdays magical. You can share your greeting card or you can create a birthday room for your friend the next birthday comes. Yes.